like I got hit by a freaking cow. All right. Well, thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kenny Port Macwash, Standing Bear, Soda Tribe, Fishing Lake, First Nations, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4, Territory, Anishinaabe, 60s Scoop Survivor, published author, United States Swimming, former United States Swimming national champion, and we are coming to you. Welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle. So we are the Medicine Circle, which really implies that we are the Medicine Circle. I am in the service of the Great Spirit, and I'm in the service of the Circle. So this is. I'm not leaving this thing. It's not any patriarchal thing. I'm sitting in the same circle with you. So, and there's really no other place that I'd rather be than just sitting here on a Thursday morning here in on the prairie in Saskatchewan, and just sitting with you all, just talking about some beautiful things. You know, we really have a beautiful time here. We really do. We laugh, we cry, and we learn how to live a good life. That's it. We learn how to live a good life, and happy life, and connected life, and helping each other out, and that's most important. And one of the other most important things that we do here is we say that we love each other. So if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much. Which simply means that I want you to live your very best life. The narrative of what it is hasn't changed, right? The colonial world did something to it, right? But over here, hey, I just want you to live your very best life, and if I can help you along the way, then let's help each other, right? So that's it. So love is also connected to those spirits that give us a good life. So that's where it really begins. It doesn't begin anywhere else. Air, fire, water, earth. Air, fire, water, earth. Yeah. Air, fire, water, earth. Drop my favorite pen. So, okay, so a couple of housekeeping notes here. Connections. We are coming off two platforms, so when you see me looking back and forth, it's like this. That's what I'm doing. Facebook has funny, man. Some people have real problems with. I've never had a problem. People have never said to me that they've had a problem over on YouTube. That is the other platform that we are going over. Standing Bear, the author, YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, and then that's like the notifications. So hit that little bell. I think there's a little bell over there. Hit that, and then you will get notified when we are going live. And I just go there. I think someone had a question about that yesterday. I think that's how that works. Probably should know. Okay, tag us. We are. I'm on some sort of like Facebook restrictions still. It's just something ridiculous. So I'm limited as to how many tags that I can do. If you're on that tag list, I know we developed a new tag list, so just know that. So we're just working our way through that list. So okay, okay. So let's see. We are going over Whispers from the Hollow Bone today, September 12th. Yeah. So. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. And also travel. So I will be leaving Monday morning. So Monday morning for Europe. So I think Sunday might be our last live for a couple weeks. Again, I'm going to try to get over there and do a couple lives with you. So. All right, let's go ahead and light up that smudge. Use again, use, if you're tribal, use what you traditionally use. We're using prairie sage, buffalo sage here. So again, let's keep that prayer going from the grandmother out in BC, who suggested, and when the grandmother suggests, it no longer becomes a suggestion. That's a whole different thing. So when the grandmother suggests that we keep this smoke going throughout the entire circle, so we need a volunteer. So we need a volunteer to just give me a little heart, give me a little thumbs up, if we can kind of keep this smoke going for the residential school children and their families. There's a place of mourning, and I just posted. Someone gave me there's another. They recently found another set of bodies. I posted that. So yes, we are still in that grieving and mourning process. So let's keep that smoke going. Love you and thank you in advance for that. Okay, so all right, let us begin. Let's begin here. So let's begin in a good and beautiful way. Let us if it doesn't begin with offering, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. So let's begin in a really good and beautiful way. If you would like to offer with us, it's a little pinch of tobacco. Looks like that. A little pinch goes a long way. Asking prayer without offering is spiritual stealing. So let's and then get your man to Chi Megwich for our breath. Chi Megwich for our circle. Chi Megwich for our day. Chi Megwich for our life. We are grateful for our last breath, and we are hopeful for our next, and we live in that place in between. We come here today. We mean no harm in what we do. We come here in a good way, sacred way, humble way. We may come here for a lot of reasons, but the first reason always is life. Without life, we have nothing. Without life, we have nothing. Our lives are connected to all others. So we don't be selfish and come here and celebrate our own life. We want to be selfless and come here and celebrate all life. We want to come here and celebrate all nations, tribes, and circles, especially those nations, tribes, and circles that do not look like the two-legged, like the standing nations, the ones that offer the world breath. We say thank you. to the fish nations and the swimming ones. The ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water. The winged ones. The ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air. We say thank you. To the creepy crawlers and the slitheries and the ones, insect nations, the ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth. To the four-legged nation circles and tribes, where we understand that you are our teachers and you offer and give us so much to and for our humanity. We say thank you. And to all other two-legged nation circles and tribes, where we understand that you are our teachers as well. This makes our ears and our hearts very happy. We celebrate those beautiful spirits that bring us life and love and light. Air, water, fire, earth. We celebrate the ones who have come before us, our ancestors. And remember, if they are our relatives here, which all life is, then they are our relatives over there. The first eagles and the bears, the beavers, the otters, the butterflies, grandmother mole, grandmother salmon, all those nations are over there. We come from a million points of light and love. Our ancestors lived in accordance with spiritual law. They did what they were supposed to do, and now it's our turn. And we understand that the two-leggeds are struggling right now. We understand that some of our two-leggeds were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed those hurts and traumas along to us. That was their gift to us. And we understand this. We understand the pain and the hurt and the suffering. We acknowledge that. We acknowledge this is a grieving and mourning process. But we also acknowledge this is a healing and a healing process. And we understand that in these circles, everybody is at a different level of their healing process. And a time of great gentleness and understanding and compassion. We also acknowledge that during this process, it's okay not to be okay. And somewhere along this healing process, we begin to understand that what they gave us was never for us to carry, never for us to own. For what we do in this life is our prayer and our offering to the next 7 generations, where we only borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned to us. So we live in the intersection between two unseen worlds. What a great time and opportunity, responsibility it is to break the cycle, to break the change, violence, drugs, and alcohol. What a great opportunity it is to sit together, to come together as one voice and one people. What a great time it is to come together and heal together. And along this road, there is a path. It is a well-worn path given to us, shown to us by our ancestors. But we can only see it with good, clear, beautiful intentions, prayerful intentions, saying that I want to heal. And then the way will be shown. It is called the Red Road, the road of wellness, the road of all people, the road of unity and love, the road on the sacred hoop, where we find our place, our gifts, and our value, and we offer that back to the circle. We offer our healing back to the circle. We offer compassion and love and light. But along the way, there are teachings along the way. humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, wisdom. We are here to make good relations and to be good relatives to the seen and the unseen, physical and spiritual, for we live in two worlds at the same time. So it doesn't have to be the way it's always been. We can come here, as grandfather told me once, and just come sit with me. Come sit in a circle. So this is what we offer, this time, this place from the ancestors, this beautiful time. And we will remember, we will begin to remember the ancient sacred agreements of harmony and balance. The first fire at the center of the universe, the first prayer of love and light. We are to be the peacemakers, the light bringers. We are to be the healers to the new world, this new age, and this new time. So let us remember to walk forward with gentleness. All right. All right. Well, good one today. Okay. Well, we got a good one going today. So, yeah. If you're new here, welcome. Noah said that they love you today. I love you very much. And my name is Kenny Boet Macwa. What we do here, if again you're new here, we got a bunch of new comments yesterday, and that is always beautiful. A couple things before we start, and we will address those comments in a minute. So, a couple of preamble things before we really start. Again, hollow bones. It's really why we're here. It's that beautiful connection. Everything we do here. That was a comment yesterday. Like everything we do here is geared toward understanding, walking with, listening to hollow bones. So the opening prayer, we do that. You know, we consistently do that. Set that beautiful intention. We mean no harm, right? Really beautiful, really powerful. Protects us. And that's an intention. And when beautiful, powerful intentions, we mean no harm. You know, that is directly related to hollow bones, right? So when we come here, we are already protected, right, from this unseen, there's heavy, darkish kind of like whatever that. When we come here with that intention, and that's part of hollow bones that we don't talk about a whole lot, but that's something. But that was a comment yesterday. So yeah, this why don't you do a prayer of protection? Well, we do a prayer of protection. That's it. Right? When we pray, we're protected. That's Grandfather Tony doesn't talk about any specific prayers of protection. When we walk in a good way, that's our protection. So, and that's also part of hollow bones. I'm trying to wrap that all up. So in a general way, we understand that there's a life force out there. We connect to that life force. That's part one. Part two is, and this is where a lot of us fall short, is we are supposed to give prayers prayer. We are supposed to give life. That means we're supposed to offer. Pray with the water, pray with the fire, pray with the air, pray with Mother Earth. Those things that give us life and love. We are supposed to offer life and love back. So we are supposed to be kind and generous in our words and our actions at all times. That's what we mean by giving life back. Just be kind and compassionate and gentle, especially with yourself, right? Because some of us feel less than, and so that's one of those things that we are trying to work on. And that's why we say, we love you. It's beautiful, right? And not in, like, we don't say it in kind of conceited sort of way, like, but we say it in a very generous, open way, that we want you. We want you to live a really good life. And really, when I'm talking about you, is we are already connected, so it circles back around to us. Okay, so trying to fit all these questions in here. So, okay, ancestors and elders. So it's very traditional to thank those who have come before us, particularly in this circle, our indigenous ancestors and elders. So thank you to my direct elder, Elder Tony Stonehawk. He is Lenny Lenape out of Delaware. Um, I've been with him for 30 years now. So yeah, mind-boggling. And to all those other men and women of medicine who carried these ceremonies, these words, this wisdom, the wisdom keepers, the one that had those particular gifts, carried those in a really good way, particularly because it was really dangerous for them to do so. In my lifetime, it was illegal to do what we are doing here and what we did this past weekend. We had, the ceremonies this weekend. A debt of, gratitude, and how we pay that back is we come to circle, we sit, we listen to we listen to the elders, right? We do all these, we walk in the way for the next 7 generations. So that's how we give that back. So that was another question. Okay, circle medicine. No one's in front of us, no one's behind us, no one's above us, no one is below us. Ooh. And this is what we look like. This is not a prop. This is a braid of sweetgrass. This is sacred medicine. It's one of the 4 sacred herbs. The hair of, traditionally known as the hair of Mother Earth. If your teaching is a little different, that's okay. We would love to hear that. That's my teaching. The teaching of equality. Teaching of intertwined and overlapping, both spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. I probably don't say that enough, but that's what that is. So, we are sitting in, there's 29, 30 of us, probably 35 of us here between the 2 platforms. So, that's our circle. That's the beautiful unseen circle, right? It's powerful when we come here, and what binds us together, in a beautiful way, is that beautiful intention. Right, that's what keeps us together. That's what keeps us coming back. That beautiful, beautiful feeling of good. I feel good coming here. So, and okay, sacred feminine. Okay. Okay. There was a question yesterday. All right. Can you explain again? Again, we will go over this as many times as you need. Yeah. Write this down. Mothers, grandmothers, tell your daughters and granddaughters this. Your mistakes don't make you any less sacred. Okay, there it is. Right, that's just plaster that everywhere. Write notes everywhere and just put that, right? Because that's a tripping point, right? We trip over that because we think we made a mistake. And there was a couple comments yesterday, and thank you for your comments. And I reached out to them and it goes just to remind me, our mistakes do not make us any less sacred. That is only a place of healing, and that's why we come to these circles, is so we can share our healing, sit in a circle, sit in a safe place. That's one of the main, the colonial world is really running out of safe places to go. So we're happy to sit here with you. Right? So the life givers, right? That's what makes you sacred. That beautiful warm space too. So so I love you. Okay, question of the day. Please keep your questions, concerns, comments coming. I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them, but I will get around to every one. We have one that came up last, I think on Saturday, and I didn't see it, and I guess they were here yesterday, and they re-asked the question yesterday after the circle. And so, what is one thing? What is one thing that you would suggest? This is a question. Standing Bear, what's one thing that you would suggest that we forget, right? Maybe we'll forget to talk about here in the circle. And I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, and this person mentioned like happiness, and that's that's a thing, and I came up with one of those things that we kind of forget to talk about is, and we talked about it this weekend too, at the lodges. Have that place of childhood wonderment. Right, the medicine wheel speaks directly to that. and carry that. That's so what's so beautiful and powerful about the medicine wheel, that particular, the east direction, baby, and to the south, youth, right? Carrying that sense of childhood wonderment with you, like that place of awe, right? So as we move into these new spiritual realms, when we walk with these new teachings, right, we see things that were right in front of us that we never saw before, right? Right. That's where the senses come in. Just like we smell things, we see things, we hear the birds, we hear the bees, we see the colors, we see all these things, right? You know, place of childhood wonderment, right? And just like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Like, how could I have possibly, just like, and this is not a place of shame. This is now just like sit there and feel that, own that, right? Own that beautiful, beautiful sense of just like, oh my God, that's so beautiful, right? Right. You know, like around the ceremony, it was just really prevalent this weekend around the ceremony. Just, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Just the fact that here, check this out. Even the fact that we are here, the fact that we are here, sitting together, we are the medicine circle. You know, we come from different backgrounds. We come from different healings. We come from different directions. We come from different religions. Colonial refugees, and now, we are people that normally wouldn't mix in the colonial world. But now, look where we are. We are here, right? And we are doing that beautiful thing. I think about that because there's people from Australia, there's people from New Zealand, there's people from South Africa, there's people from Europe. I'm going to see people. I'm going to see my peeps from Europe next week, right? So, it's really beautiful. But yet we come here with this beautiful understanding, and let's just recognize that for a second. Be like, oh, that's so beautiful, right? We can all kind of look, and we start to recognize, like the names are still, the names are coming back, and they're there, and it's that just hold on to that place of like childhood wonderment, and what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to take time out, part of our day, and just see that, feel that, recognize that, and again, walk with that, put that, put that right there and be like, oh, good, there's a place that I can go that feels really good, and so when we go to that place, the medicine, we go to the place of the East, new beginnings, that's a beautiful thing, and, it's hard for us, particularly for a guy like me, especially early in my walk on the road. There was so much trauma. There was so much trauma there. They don't treat you real good and care, right? They don't do that, right? So then I was sold to a governmental human trafficking. I was sold to a white American family, and they said, they said, this is your family, and I didn't know what they were talking about, right? I just knew I could survive it, right? So it wasn't like a place they were very good to me. The Snellgroves were very good to me, but it was just like, didn't get a chance to bond real well, right? But here's, childhood wonderment, took me a while, took me a minute to go back there, to sit there, and to realize, particularly with the Snellgroves, it just, there wasn't a lot of bad times. There was a lot of good times, right? There was a lot of sadness, internal sadness with me, but there was a lot of beauty, right? A lot of beauty. Part of this thing we did with the Snellgrove families, we went hiking all the time, right? And I just love that. While other people were going to Disney World and all these places, and like I wanted to go there too. I actually never went, so I've never been there. So now I just don't want to go. So now it's okay. But hiking up through the White Mountains, through the Porcupine Mountains, through Blue Ridge Mountains, all these, right? All these beautiful places. So those are the good memories, but it took me a minute to get there, right? So like childhood wonderment. Sometimes it takes a minute, that beautiful place of, healing. And, that's why we come here to re-remember those good feelings that were blocked by the trauma. So again, please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. We have a really good meditation today, Whispers from the Hollow Bone, September 12th. And YouTubers, if you guys put your name in there too and just kind of introduce yourselves also. We want to get, and you know, also for the Facebookers, just kind of introduce yourself if you're new here. Like if you're tribal, introduce yourself. That's fine. Country, whatever you're from, please introduce yourself. That was just a suggestion from you. Hey, I would like to know where everybody's from, so we'll just do that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to read it a couple of times, develop a general impression. That's really important. This is not about blame, shame, guilt. This is really understanding where we are. That's it. That's it. So some of us have struggling with drugs and alcohol. That's fine. We love you, right? You are welcome here. Some of us have walked the red road for 50 years. 50, we had a guy in there, 60 years, been walking the red road. You know, he was sitting, we had an elder, come on. Peter, come on here the other day. So, you know, again, walking the red road for everyone. This is not about this is not a race, it's not a competition. There's no graduation, there's no diploma at the end of this. There's just us sitting in a circle, loving up on each other. And so that's the way it goes. So, understanding the red road is knowing. Okay, and this is the book here. Understanding the red road is knowing that Mother Earth has a sacred voice. Walking the red road is listening to her sacred voice. Helping others is living the red road. Let's read that again. I think there's a typo in there, but understanding the red road is knowing that that Mother Earth has a sacred voice. Walking the red road is listening to her sacred voice. Helping others is living the red road. Wow. I think there's a typo in there. We apologize for that. So, okay, let's jump right in. Understanding. What would be the preamble to this, though? What would be, so this is the setup right here. This is how to live. So my general impression before we get into that is this is how we live a good life. This is how they map it out in front of us. In the spirit, like everything begins with the spirit. If you don't understand that, just write that down. Everything begins with the spirit, right? We have that reversed in the colonial. They teach us spiritual dyslexia in the colonial world. That means we talk before we listen. Right. Right. We do before we know, type thing, right? We do before we think, right? We do before we pray. That's one thing that will always keep us out of balance. So, the preamble to this, right? There's a decision that has to be made, right? Right. A decision that has to be made, right? Okay, we're hurting, we're sick, we're drinking, we're drugging. We're tired of, we're tired of the separation. We're tired of the hate. That colonial world, it teaches us separation. It teaches us, it's an adversarial model, and that you can write down. Right. It's designed to keep us separated from each other. The illusion of separation is designed to keep that illusion going. And this is let's get out of that conversation of good, bad, we don't have that here. We just simply acknowledge it for what it is, and then we say, what do we say? No, thank you. Okay, so it's a simple acknowledgement there. So now we're over here in this circle, the spiritual circle, the red road, right? Okay, so now we're here, right? The red road is the way of wellness. Okay, right? I love you, the road of wellness. So now that we've made that choice to walk the red road, right? The red road, the healing, the wellness, it is not going to come to us, knock on our door and say, here I am. This is very clear about what what we have to do. One of the best lines in any spiritual book I have ever that I have ever read, the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it says the price has to be paid. Right? A price has to be paid. We have to put some skin in the game. That means we have to show up. Right? That means we have to do, and that's what this reading, this beautiful, powerful reading, is all about. Right? You know, living is doing. Right? So let's get into this. So, okay, understanding. We're finally here. Understanding. All right. Concept, a simple concept. It's a little bit of knowledge, right? Comprehension. That look, that there's a better way. There's a way of healing. There's a way of loving. There's a way of peace. A beautiful way of peace, right? We don't come from a peaceful world, right? And the peace we're talking about, if everything begins with the spirit, then what does that look like, right? Write that down. Take notes. We need you to take notes here for your benefit, right? For your benefit, right? The way of happiness. And look, oh, okay, good. Everything's going to be okay. Right? Let's just keep going on, and keep praying. And remember when the preamble thing is, when we start walking this way, like, do you think the red road doesn't protect us? Do you think walking a spiritual way leaves us vulnerable? No. One of the greatest things, and this is a sidebar. Okay, we're doing okay for time. Okay, so one of the greatest lessons that I have learned on this road. I don't like to feel vulnerable. Like, before I got here, I thought it was a place of weakness, right? Feeling vulnerable, telling my truth, right? Being humble, right? A place of truth. But in actuality, this is one of the greatest places of strength, right? And that's what that colonial world understands and tries to keep us away from that, right? Right? That's why they tried to kill our medicine men and kill these ways, right? The place of strength, where when we act in a place of humility, then humility protects us, and there's nothing that they can do. Right? A place of strength. Right? Right. That means the red road protects us as we move into this place where we see our concept of vulnerability is different than the spirit. The concept of the spirit is absolute strength and gentleness. Right. Okay. I'm not sure how far we got so far. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for just letting me, I love you guys. So, okay. Understanding the red road. So, the red road, it is the way of... So, all right. The way of wellness, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical. Right? Everything begins with the spirit. It reflects in the physical. Right? Okay. The road of alignment. I was going to say something else. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Again, the road of unity, the road of love. Okay, let's move on. The sacred hoop. That's what I was going to talk about. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. So, the red road. It's a place where we find our value in this world. Right? But if we live in that world of separation, let's just be really clear. If we live in that world of separation, we're always fighting each other, we never find our value. That's spiritual law. But when we sit together, when we pray for each other, when we pray for our enemies, we begin to find that beautiful place. We begin to feel heard. We begin to feel valued. We begin to feel understood, right? So when we find that place of value, then we begin to understand that we all carry a beautiful gift, and our gift is our uniqueness. Write that down. Uniqueness. Okay. It is our uniqueness that will create that unity. The gifts, the value that we bring to the sacred hoop will help the sacred hoop. Right? So here's some black road medicine, right? So the red road involves the white road, the yellow road, the black road, and of course the red road. And we are only stewards of this road. So a little lesson from the black road. So when there's going to be a birth, when someone is pregnant, when a female is pregnant, right? Uh, the elders gather together. And I'll get you the book. Just read me feed here. Just remind Stanley Bear what book this is coming from. And I'll do. So the elders get together. The medicine men come together. The grandmothers and the grandfathers, and they look at the tribe. They see where the medicine is needed, what that child, because they know that child is bringing a gift. So they are waiting. They are looking around. Hey, what gift? What gift do we need in this community? Right? Very beautiful, very powerful. We don't even think that way in here in this colonial world. But life is beautiful. We can all agree on that. But what gift is every child bringing? And that child, and that child that has that gift is still you. Write that down. There's a little child in you that has a beautiful gift. You know, maybe you haven't found it yet. Maybe there's a level of healing. And this is not about right and wrong, good or bad. We are not bad people becoming healthy. That is also the red road too. Write that down. Right. Right. Maybe we haven't found our voice. But a lot of females haven't found their voice, right? It's just like me, we were talked down to or abused, like that kind of thing. I was talked down to abused. I didn't want to say anything. I wanted to be invisible, right? That's what that world told me. You're better off being invisible, right? No greater trauma than wanting to be invisible, right? That's just what it is. So, okay. Understanding the red road is knowing, okay, there's an awareness there, right? There's a beginning. The East medicine, new beginnings, new awareness. That Mother Earth has a sacred voice. Okay. Mother Earth, what the sacred feminine, just write sacred feminine back to that, right? This is something that the Great Spirit, the ancestors talk about over and over. We are, business of restoring balance, right? We are out of balance. So a lot of times, most of the time in this reading, they're talking about Mother Earth to help restore, bring back that beautiful awareness, that beautiful connection, right? Has a sacred voice. That means, so let's turn that around. She's speaking to us all day long, right? Mother Earth is not a benign being, right? She's a sentinel being that has a history, that has prayers, that have a culture, that have a voice, that have a song, have a dance, has a fire, has a flow, has a rhythm, has a heartbeat, has all these beautiful things. And she's offering that daily, every day, every moment to us. How about that for awareness, right? Right. Who here, I'm not going to tell my true story again, but who here remembers my true story? Right? Right. The short story of it, here I am telling my story. We are all heart. So, we are all heart. That's what the tree said to me after 6 weeks of prayer. It said, I don't see your heart. Where is your heart? There's a friend of mine, a relative, came down from Onion Lake, Saskatchewan. I was in Miami. They talked about connecting all hearts. I saw a big tree there during meditation. I said, where is your heart, right? 6 weeks later, prayer is about, here, write this down. This is where we trip over all the time. Prayer is about preparation. Understanding that flow. Understanding that patience, right? Accepting, not in the results business, right? That means that when we're in the results business, that means we're looking for a specific result, right? No, we are in the acceptance business. That whatever that prayer. You see that difference? Because often people saying, you hear from the colonial world, oh, my prayers weren't answered. Well, you were looking for one answer when there's like 18 others that really are there to guide you and help you, right? And, and then they say all the time, well, God does, well, God forgot about me. Well, no, you're not looking. Over here, we know and understand that beautiful awareness that Creator, the Great Spirit, Mother Earth, the Great Sacred Feminine, is always trying to help us, always on our side, wants to, loves us. That means to live our best life. That's where we get that, right? That's where we get that, right? Mother Earth loves us and wants to give. That's so we mirror what Mother Earth is offering. That's where we get that prayer. I love you. Has a sacred voice, and let's get into this. What is that sacred voice? We hear it all the time, right? The sounds that come from her. Let's break this down. Do you think we're the only ones that Mother Earth, Creator, hollow bones? Do you think we're the only ones? Do you think we're the only ones that have the concept or knowledge of hollow bones? Write that down. When Pops talked to me about this, when the grandpa, mind blowing. I'm like, what? What? The bird songs, hollow bones. The sound of the wind through the trees, hollow bones. The sound of the falling leaves, hollow bones. The sound of the rain, hollow bones. The sound of the falling snow, hollow bones. The sound of the water, hollow bones. The sound of the waves hitting the shoreline, hollow bones. So it's not just humans that have the ability to understand. We are at our infancy when we start to understand. As a human two-legged nation, we are at our infancy about understanding what hollow bones is. We are living in a world of hollow bones because everything is reflecting off everything else. So Mother Earth is using the birds as medicine for us to understand. So it's not only coming from them, it's flowing what? Through them. So the song you hear, not just songs anymore. That song is specifically for you. Right? That song is saying, I love you, he needs you. When we really understand that, we listen from here. Right? But again, listening first form of communication, and listening is not from our ears, right? No. But if that were the case, then, that's just not true. No. Listening from all five senses is just the beginning. Write that down. Write that down. Listening from all five senses is just the beginning. How beautiful and powerful that. That means there's an extraordinary world out there that we are absolutely missing. But not a bad thing. Again, it says awareness, right? Knowing awareness, right? So let's add those. Like it doesn't say we're bad people becoming good. It doesn't say that here, right? Because of trauma, it doesn't say you're a bad person and this is what it doesn't say that. Let's listen to what they are offering us here. They are offering us in a really good and beautiful way. But it makes me want to cry when I think, wow, all these things are rooting for us. They're cheering us on. They're encouraging us. The wind, is for our benefit, right? Write that down, right? Right. If we are part of something beautiful and powerful, they do things to make us beautiful and powerful. Write that down. Right? They are guiding us. They are on our side. Like imagine being like a high school football game, and then all the other people, like we're running down the field, and the rest of us, and the rest of them are all cheering us on. Right? Well, that's what they're doing. That's physically what That's what they're doing, and it's magical. Oh my God. And in that moment, how can we feel alone and scared and afraid? Right? We can't. We feel protected, loved, and nurtured. So here we get to trade one for the other. but we have to do some work. Our price has to be paid. We have to put some skin in the game. That means we have to show up, right? We had a bunch of people that were scheduled to come here. This weekend we had a bunch of people. Yeah, a bunch of people. You know, a good percentage didn't show up, and sometimes things happen, but like sometimes they're scared to show up, right? So it's got new people, new circle. We don't know you, and so on that. So, well, you show up, right? That's it. We need you here, right? We need everybody on the front line here. We need everybody in prayer. And this is not about good or bad. We need you to bring your wounds here so we can help you, right? That's our agenda, is to help you. That's what that's reflected in the beautiful reading today. So I think we should get back to the reading now that now that I mentioned it. I love you guys. I really do. So, okay. Understanding. Let's start off. Understanding the red road is knowing. Okay. Knowing. Awareness. That Mother Earth has a voice. I took so many notes I can't read it anymore. So, okay. Walking the red road is listening to her. Listening. Active listening. Listening is an action. Write that down. It's an action. Listening is also sitting still, right? Sitting in silence. The silence is the first silence. So people get confused because, well, I need to meditate, I need to sit in silence. And the silence that we're looking for is in here and in here, right? So we can hear what's happening out there, the four winds. Like we get that confused, we go to like a silent place, which is okay, right? That's okay. But, like we want to, it's kind of cleaning that slate for this new medicine to come in, right? Like it's trying to, like if a table is really cluttered and we're trying to find a place to put something, then we got to clean off the table and find that place. It's really the same thing, right? Find that spiritual place, find the spiritual place at your table, clean it off a little bit, and allow those good things to come in. That means we have to release some of the knowledge, some of that, probably, patriarchy, colonial, industrial knowledge, right? That tells us we're bad because we got sick. We're bad because we drank. We're bad because we had trauma. Yeah, those are the clutter things that we're trying to get rid of, right? So, and again, we're here, we're not bad people becoming good, right? That's what they say. So we have a drinking and drug problem. They think we're bad people. I heard that. I heard that for a long time, right? Why don't you just, But here, they didn't understand. Those people don't understand the fact that they did their best to keep me away from this beautiful, beautiful knowledge right here. And the knowledge is, so what we're doing here is we're walking into the realm of wisdom, right? Because knowledge is knowing, wisdom is walking with that knowledge, right? So, and that's how we come, like the old ones say, we are becoming the wisdom keepers, right? Understanding the red road is knowing the sacred feminine has a voice. Walking the red road is listening to her sacred voice. And, okay, helping others is living the red road. Right. Helping others. What does that mean? How we conduct ourselves. Write that down. How we conduct ourselves. Is reflective of our healing. Right. Like how do we humility. Humility. How do we walk with humility? And again, humility is not a place of, right. What is humility to you? So we have to sit with. So we have to make good relatives, good and bad. No, we have to make good. Sorry, we have to make good relations. Right. So what does that look like? Humility. Just here, put that in the feet. Humility. Put that in the feet. We are doing it now, sitting, we are listening, we are guided by something beautiful, the ancestors, Mother Earth, the Great Spirit, Creator, flowing through here, really beautiful and powerful. Well, you think it's all coming from me, you are mistaken, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way, I mean that, look, we are guided. We have set this up. Everything we do here in the morning, this is a humility circle, right? Humility. I'm guided by that. That's what the answer. That's what Grandfather told me. This is. We told this story this weekend, and it was a personal story. So it's a personal story, right? Um, like Grandfather was talking to me about humility for like the longest time, and I couldn't figure it out. My first couple of years in. Walking the red road. That means going to ceremony, and I didn't understand that the ceremony never ends. This ceremony, man, but the ceremony in you. It took me a long time to get there. Like I thought, when the ceremony ends, I could do whatever I want. Live like the gates open, right? Running, doing, being sneaky and shady in between the, I was going to A, and I was having, get my own on the side with just all this stuff, you know, and Grandfather Tony kept talking about humility, and one day I'm like, God, he talked about us about humility all the time, and it dawned on me, he was helping me understand what humility was, and that's the medicine that I needed, right? And I was like, I said, so went from over there and finally went in there. That's that moment. Oh my God, maybe he's talking about me. I've been talking about me for 5 years. Talking about me for 5 years, And then I started to understand, right? I started to understand, like, talk about me, Pop. And then I was able to have that conversation, right? When, like at the beginning, it's like, okay, all right, there's an issue here, right? Let me start, and then I started to talk about some of, and that's when the conversation about, the abuse, right? My own abuse, right? Like stepping out into that place of vulnerability, right? And again, I equated vulnerability with danger, right? Because that's what that world says. Over here, it says completely the opposite. Vulnerability is our greatest strength, and that you can write down. Vulnerability, So when we come to a circle, when we have, like, that's why we have the physical circles, right? Right. Right. This is a place for the men to sit together and to be vulnerable and a really beautiful, because we set that sacred place, that sacred tone, the sacred prayers, the sacred fire. That's why we have these, because we walk in Israel. There's one thing to do it online, and there's another thing to do it in person. It's just something, not better or worse. We want to stay out of the conversation, but it's just that beautiful place. But, that's just so, the first step of helping others is for me, my personal thing was understanding the 7 sacred laws, right? Walking the sacred. Right. Walking, that's that first thing, right? So let's kind of recap here. One of those things that that was pinging me before it was just really beautiful teaching, man. When I finally got this, man, when I finally understood, when I said, what, that is absolutely beautiful, man, and I don't understand it, but I acknowledge it and I accept the help. I don't understand. Write that down. When we get to that point, beautiful place of humility, right? Yeah. They are helping us even when we don't know we need help ourselves, right? That's that beautiful moment. And this is when grandfather started talking about, um, you know, the hollow bones flows through everything. Hollow bones flows through everything. Like we think, and I thought that hollow bones just flow through like the two legs. Like, so if I'm talking to Kimberly or Debbie or Sybil, and then the hollow bones is flowing through. And I thought that when I left them, then that was it, right? Well, you know, like if we want to get really down to it, you know, and I got the help from the South American friends, the shamans, and you know, they said every prayer is so powerful. Every good prayer is so powerful that it's still in the air, right? So as we breathe it in, those prayers are already there. It's that place of recognition that brings that beautiful power, right? That beautiful understanding, that beautiful gentleness, that beautiful stuff. Even there, even the air we breathe, right? The water we drink, beautiful, powerful. That's why we pray with the water. That's part of giving life, right? So when we go, so when the grandmothers do the water ceremony, that's a beautiful thing because they're giving life, right? Helping others, living the red road. That's why they do that, right? You know, see this, then water isn't water anymore. It becomes medicine, right? Helping others live. And do you think the others is only two-legged? No, it's all other life. It is helping the sacred hoop. Right? So we have to get out of that narrative that the two-legged are the only ones that need help. Right? Those that give us life need help. Air, water, fire, earth. Let's just start there, you know. Then the birds, the bees, and then the bears, the beavers, the otters, and the sabe, the buffalo. Then they're sitting there in that very conversation. They need help too. You know, they need protection. They need help. The water needs help, right? Mother Earth needs help, right? All right. So again, beautiful place of awareness. Once we sit with this, once we understand, once we make that beautiful connection through awareness, then it's like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. That means the world is set up for us to succeed. Right? In this world, not the colonial world, you know, the spirit world is set up for us to succeed. Right? That's it, right? You know, it is a beautiful place of thriving. You know, I survived that. I'm lucky I survived. A lot of my people did not survive. A lot of two-legs did not survive that colonial world. Right? Over here, we survive. We survive in this world, and we survive in the next. And that beautiful transition, right? Beautiful, powerful. Okay, so, all right, couple of announcements. I love you. If you would like to support Standing Bear, there's a couple of things that you can do. This is a question that came from a couple women in the We Are the Medicine Circle thing. And I said, how can we support you? There is we are working on a film documentary, and there is Letitia Morel. She's over there in Europe. So we are working on a film. It does cost a little money, so there is a GoFundMe if you would like to contribute to that. Thank you very much. Justin Jack Bear also put a t-shirt out the other day. I didn't know he was doing this, so that also goes to help support me also. So anyway, and also another announcement, we will have the pre-order dates to Sifting Through the Ashes probably next week. So so the pre-order dates there. So so the fourth book, the second one this year, things are moving in a really beautiful direction, and I want you all to be there with me as because you all help me along the way. So, and I say that with love and light. So let's close this out. What is your takeaway? I forgot to add that. What is your takeaway? What are you going to put here? Okay, just kind of close your eyes and be like, and remember, I love you. thank you, everyone. The final word is this ceremony may end, but the ceremony in you does not end. So let's take what we lived here, learned here, loved here, and listened to here, and take it out to the four winds. Does us no good to be all spiritual here. If we don't take it out there, that means go far beyond hitting that share button. Yes, that was a comment yesterday. Can we share this? Absolutely, you can. To any individual, any group, any institution that you think that would benefit from what we are doing here. We are the medicine. We are the medicine. So let's make sure you know, put that takeaway right here, right? Put that takeaway right here, right? If it doesn't go here, it won't go to our loved ones, it won't go to our families, it won't go to our communities, it won't go there. It has to go here before it goes out there, right? My name is Kanipa Witnakwa, Standing Bear. And if no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much. Let's have a great day. Trying to comment here. I'm not sure if I can respond to you. That's why I'm DIY projects. I'm gonna contact you after this. So thank you very much, brother. All right.